I just recently looked at Jasmine's video slash poetry. Her voice and every way that she did the poem verbally was really good, but what the poem mean about her killing herself at the end because God not showing Himself was very, very hypocritical, sad, and disturbing because I have brothers and sisters that believe in God and that I want to see in heaven, and leading a message telling them to kill themselves is not the way to get to heaven. Not at all. It's actually a fast track to hell. So you would not be with God if you killed yourself. And then another thing, trying to test God, telling God to come out. If you would read the Bible and you truly understand it, there's a chapter called Job, and Job is telling God, I mean, he was put through so much pain. I'm talking about boils from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. All his money was taken away from him. Family and friends turned against him. He went from the richest man in the world to the poorest. And he kept telling God, God, why me? Why this? Why that? And I've done everything I prophesied. I've been sweet. I mean, this is an old man, so he has lived his life and he lived a righteous life towards God. But God told him, like, I've given you all these things and it hasn't been bad for you. But when it gets bad, would you still love me the same? Is basically what God said to him. So, for you, and I mean, he was tested in so many ways. And the way he was tested is the devil came up to God and the devil said, well, God, yeah, I'm sure he does love you, but would he love you the same if, you know, you didn't give him everything that you give him, or his life wasn't so good? That's the devil's way of getting to God. Like, if his mind wasn't so at ease, if you didn't spoil him the way you did, would he still love you the same? So God said, do everything that you want to do to him. I guarantee you that he's going to love me the same, except kill him. So Job goes through all these tribulations and pain, and he starts yelling out God's name, telling God why, and acting like he knows it all. Is basically what the young lady was doing inside the video. And you're basically giving the devil upper hand, and you're making all kids think exactly like you. When you're writing poetry, it has to be deeper than yourself. I mean, it's based upon your experience, but make sure you overcome something before you preach it to somebody, because it's very vital. You could be the reasons why millions of people kill themselves and die. Like, people are basically commenting under the video saying, okay, yeah, this is right, it's deep, I feel you, this and that and that and that. You can't go to a God and tell a God to prove itself to you, to show him. You can humbly ask him a million times, and if he chooses not to come to you, he chooses not to come to you. You know what I mean? That's not something that he has to do. That's like you telling your parents, oh, mom, you love me, well, then buy me a car. Show me you love me and buy me a car. And your parents, just because you're asking them in the way that you're asking them, are not going to buy you that car, because you're basically demanding something to see something. And that's not what love is. Love is blind. It is not envy. It is not hate. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. It always perseveres, which means look for more ways to love. It's never demanding. It's never selfish. It's never self-seeking. It doesn't hate. Love is blind. Actually, love is blind. Love is something that you can't see. You can't look at it. You know what I mean? When you kissing somebody, you close your eyes. When you're praying, you close your eyes. Love is something that you cannot see. People use their eyes in a way that is actually gonna backstab them. Your eyes is the root of all evil. You think of the devil. The devil was the most beautiful angel in the world. He had everything, intelligence, all that stuff, until he looked in the mirror one day too long and he thought too much about himself. Remember, God created you. He created not only you, but the breath that you breathe, your life, the universe. When it ends, the whole sky is going to be peeled back. I mean, people that's sitting on Mars right now thinking they done conquered the whole universe and the world, they're going to be literally vanished. You know what I mean? So just when you're making poems, think about the effect that it's going to have on people. If it's a positive thing, telling them, yeah, God is everything, and keep seeking, because when you die, nobody but God in the dead know where you go. You know what I mean? So don't sit there and say, I'm killing myself. And Jasmine, with all due respect, I love you like you could be my own daughter or sister, you know what I mean? But I just think about how much it affects other people and yourself to not know that God does love you and He created you and He thought that when He made you, you were going to be somebody that's going to stand up tall for Him. You were going to be strong. You were going to endure. You were going to take the bad with the good. You know what I mean? Because God doesn't make the bad. He only helps you get past the bad. You got to remember, He has somebody that's against Him, that's wanting to see Him, you know, lose all his people, all his kids, and for you to do that, you're saying that you never was with God. You know, the Bible will actually teach you. If you read the Word, you don't just read the good words or I want to prosper and God be with me and God show me. So you read every single word in there, and you will see that God is everything, and there's a reason for everything, and you're gonna see people that you're gonna have to stand up to. There's gonna be worshiping Satan. It's stuff that's going on right now that you couldn't even fathom. So to not have God on your side will not be the answer, and killing yourself is definitely not the answer. So, I mean, this is my video response, and I'm praying and hoping that some kids take to this and realize that killing yourself is not the way, and hurting yourself or calling on God in an angry type of manner or thinking that He has to prove to you that He's God. He does not. Just think of us as a bunch of ants, and I mean a whole world full of ants compared to God. You know what I mean? And you just built this big old house for all these ants, and you got one little one saying, "Show me yourself. Show me yourself. If you love me so much, show me yourself." It's not. It doesn't work like that. And I'm praying for all you guys out there. God bless, and I pray that He's with all of us, because what we're facing right now is so crazy. And another thing, just don't call on God and expecting for Him to show Himself to you. That's not His job. His job is to love you foremost. And He gave you the Word, and the Word will take you places that the world can't. So listen to it, and God bless.